Hi guys, welcome to the first ever full Q&A that I asked across the social media to ask me anything you want. Thank you so much for taking an interest and sending them in. One of the most asked questions often is also in comments, and you asked that again, is tell us about your violin. Who made it? What is it? So it is a modern Italian violin made by Domenico Fantine. The link is below, and I absolutely love it, but it's not an unpayable, historically fantastic Stradivari or Guadagnini. It's made by him, and I have performed all my albums, I think, with this violin. Check out Domenico Fantine's link. The likes like Yehuda Menuhin bought violins by him too. So he's a great violin maker, and as far as I know, self-taught. Next question. What great questions you sent in. I absolutely love baking. I also like cooking, but something about baking, may I say, is for the soul. I also like to be very creative with it, so I'll find a recipe on the good old web or on YouTube, and I'll do my own twist with it. I'll be very chaotic. I often don't even look, do I have all the ingredients? I'll sort of peruse it and say, yeah, it's normal ingredients, and then I don't have something and I'll substitute it, and sometimes it works out. Most of the times, I would say. If you want to know more about that, let me know, and I'll include I'll film myself. I'll even tell you what kind of musical piece I like with a certain dish. All of that, I like that. I used to think I can't do any cooking, any baking, and I don't know what changed it, but yeah, the fact that there's all these ingredients and you just make something and then you got a proper dish, I find that wonderful. And I guess because I'm not ambitious with it, I'm not competing, it's just there's not a lot of stress. My dad is a wonderful cook, and I think I might have got it from him. But I like that. I, before COVID, was a passionate dancer, especially Latin dances. So salsa, bachata, kizomba, all of that. I also did a fair amount of ballroom dancing when I was younger, but I just didn't have the time to do everything anymore because I did it with training, so proper training. So I love dancing. I also love that kind of music. I love jazz music, Latin music, so anything salsa, bachata, kizomba, even reggaeton. I love, it's the old, very like Ella Fitzgerald, and I love that kind of music, anything like that. So I love dancing. I absolutely love water. I love swimming, have always loved it. I love the sea. But I do mean interesting sea, so ideally like the Atlantic Ocean, so lots of waves. And I have never done any surfing. I would love to try it, absolutely love it. Anything on the waves. I love the sound of the sea. I just absolutely love it, and I wish I was living closer to it. Yes, I love this high tide, low tide, lots of waves, and just walking by the beach and just the horizon. I absolutely love the sea, love water, love boats, love being on boats, and that kind of thing. I love that. Yes, before COVID, I used to love traveling, especially if it was combined with performing, of course. I mean, that's my deluxe thing. So I'm not one of these person that goes to a resort and just chills. In fact, the only time I ever tried to do this, I got incredibly sick, and then I hurt my foot, and then, what didn't happen, it was a nightmare week. So I did attempt it, but that kind of holidays, it's not for me. I love performing, and love doing it all over the world and combine that and see different cultures and be really involved with the country. So not sort of in a nice resort and like apart, if you know what I mean. I like that a lot. And I used to love reading. I don't have a lot of time right now to do it, but I love that. I love documentaries, and probably I'm not surprised about it because I love sort of cooking, baking. I also like watching these kind of videos. I always find it amazing, you have this super, super clean kitchen and I do the most wonderful things and it always looks clean. They never show you the mess that occurs when I do it, like the bowl is dirty, right? And things get dirty, the spoon or the machine you mix it with. I mean, that happens and they don't show you that. So you get this sort of relaxed feeling, I think especially like what happened with my mum, it gives me a sense of normalcy. Everything is fine. The sort of innocence that I think I have lost forever. I don't know if that's not also part of my job. I mean, I love arranging. I love recording. I love doing videos. I love all that. That's not strictly just performing the violin. I love that. I used to really, really love hiking, being out and about, just in the nature. Again, similar like with the sea, just, I guess I prefer, if I have free time, not to be too much amongst people because I get a lot in my job. So sort of the opposite of that. I love that. I love Scotland. Absolutely love it. Love Scottish people, love the countryside. Is just most beautiful. I mean, the sea, love Edinburgh. I love also spa and sauna. I absolutely love that. Goes together with swimming, I used to be very, very good at yoga. In fact, I filmed quite a few vlogs on how I do that and never got around to posting them. If you're interested, leave me a comment below. So yoga, I was very much a fan of, less so recently because of so many family things happening and just everything being really chaotic. But I really, really like yoga. I like stretching. I like me time, being just with myself. And that may sound very strange when you've seen me on concert videos or on being very, extroverted, but I do have the other side where I need a lot of just, I guess, quiet time. And even more so now that my mum died, and to process things, or trying to get to terms. Absolutely love autumn. I mean, I like so many things about each season. Each season has their unique, joy to me. I also quite like winters. Lots of people don't, but I find it very cozy. But I would say autumn is one of my, I just love autumn. I was born in autumn. The change of colors, there's something so beautiful of the woods. And I generally also, I guess by now you can guess, I like diversity. I like things not being the same, and I like the seasons. I think it's really, I can see beauty in a rainy autumn day. I really like that. And yes, I can relate to you. I love the autumn. That's a difficult one because, as you know, I like diversity. I like to bring the changes, so to speak, even crossover, The least favorite one, I guess at the moment it would be like 12 tonal music, or very, very aggressive atonal music. Right now, I think if I had to perform that right now, not so much. I'm specifically not saying modern music or music by, I even say Penderecki. I like Penderecki and I like pieces by him, but I do mean maybe some of Schoenberg. Right this moment, I would say it's just a bit too aggressive for me. So at the moment, that's the least favorite one. Yes. At the moment, it can also change. Oh, wow, that's a great compliment. Thank you very much. I am very happy you feel like that. That is wonderful. You can obviously approach a piece purely from the technical aspects and then later on from your interpretation. But I think quite a lot of times, depending where you are, at which level, let's put it like that, it can be harder, you know. So when I studied, I had a teacher that would ask me, well, how would you sing that phrase? And by doing that, you take away the technical problems that phrase might have on the violin and just think about the phrase, which is the important thing, the music. And I find that's sometimes very helpful. So you do it the other way around. You see, how do I want to phrase this, interpret it? Where is it going? If you know what I mean. And then, well, how do I do that technically? You know, how do I make what I want it to sound like on the violin? So that can be helpful to do that. And I think a lot of listening to yourself. So I've obviously recorded so much, especially in the last couple of years because of COVID entirely. You get to really listen. You always have to listen back, right, to what you record. And I find that helps you a lot to understand, oh, that's actually not how I wanted to phrase this. I want actually this. Or, oh, the speed is a bit off here. And speed has a huge impact on your interpretation, right? That's an approach I would recommend if you're struggling with this. Not to think of it technique, interpretation, style and technique, but rather that really being intertwined, if that makes any sense. So the way you want to interpret a certain thing and what it says in the music, then coming together and you being clear in your head or in your mind or by singing, this is what I want. And then if a technical problem arises through that, then you might have a teacher that helps you with that. But this way, you make sure you are performing your interpretation versus technically playing a piece and then being told to interpret it a certain way. I don't know if that helps, but that would be one aspect, I think. It's a bit weird. My weight? Seriously? My weight? I guess we can try and find working scales in this house because we're right this moment we're moving houses, and you can have a look at what I weigh, but I'm not sure that's helpful, interesting. As I say, does it really matter what someone weighs or how tall they are or what they look like, you know? But if you're interested, we can certainly, I don't know because I don't tend to weigh myself, but we can certainly have a look. Yes, that's what I posted on Instagram. Why, Scott, thank you very much. Well, it was just editing and starting to film this Q&A, and I also did a little bit of Q&A for you guys over at Patron. If you like this format, I do this every month for my patrons. All you have to do is join and you can ask me absolutely anything, and I do it regularly. How can I be your husband? Seriously, not joke. Okay. I've been following you for 5 years. You've been following me for 5 years and you've not asked me until now. Wow. Okay. Joking. No, it's very kind of you, but don't know what to say to this. I hope you find a wonderful wife that you don't wait 5 years to ask. And that's all I'm going to say to this. Wish you all the best. All the best. Will you play the Swan from Saint-Saëns? I can certainly record the Swan. The absolute best way to ensure that I record something you desperately want me to is to join my Patreon, and I do monthly polls and patrons get to choose one piece every month. And if I get the time between everything else, I will also put the Swan down and record it for you. It's a wonderful piece. You play fiddle violin? Yes, I do. I'm a violinist. Glad we could clear that up. And then quite a few questions about my relationship status. So I prefer not to talk about that on social media because there's a lot of judgment either way, whatever you do. If you want me to change that, and I'm thinking about doing that, please comment. I hope you have enjoyed this little hangout Q&A with me. If you're interested in actually chatting live to me like this, or having a say-so on what I record, join my Patreon or go and have a look at it. The link is below. And regarding one-on-one masterclasses, one-on-one lessons, my email is there. And if you just want to enjoy videos like that, why don't you subscribe for free to my channel? About nearly 85% of you guys that watch my videos are not subscribed. That's a very high percentage. I understand, you know, I'm not so good when I'm on YouTube myself either, but it makes a massive impact on my videos and also how many more I can produce. So the more people that are subscribed, the more I'll be able to put out. So win-win. And it's free. Lots of love. See you in the next video and be well.